Greetings, YouTube. This tragic shooting that we've experienced here in America this past Saturday has brought something to the fore for me. It has shown me that the issue isn't with firearms. The issue is with a failure in our mental health system. The shooting in Arizona, where 6 people have been killed and 14 wounded, including a congresswoman, is the best example I can think of a deeply warped and twisted human being that gave every sign to pretty much everyone that he had contact with that he needed help, and he didn't get it. His classmates were terrified of him, thinking he was going to be violent. His teachers were terrified of him, thinking he would be violent. One commented that he didn't even like turning around to write on the blackboard because he didn't want his back to the student in question. His school suspended him in September and said that he could not return until he had undergone a psychological evaluation to show that he was not in fact violent. His parents had been informed by the school of the reason that their son had been suspended. And none of these people contacted the authorities. His parents didn't hop on the ball quite fast enough. They didn't get him the help he desperately needed. And now, 6 people are dead. 14 lives have been potentially ruined. And this young man's life is over, regardless of how long he lives. All because our healthcare system failed him. I have a hard time imagining that some of these signs weren't present before last summer, when the fellow students began to realize that he was a danger. The level of warped worldview he seems to hold doesn't just happen overnight. He's at the age when schizophrenia affects people. He could have been helped. He could have been medicated, and if that wasn't working, he could have been isolated. There are good facilities in the world where he could have been kept. It's sad, but it meant that he wouldn't have harmed anyone, and he himself would now not be incarcerated. He's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. There isn't any way that he's ever going to get out. He's either going to be in prison or in a mental health institution of some variety, which will be just like a prison. And those 6 families have lost something they can't ever get back. And those 14 survivors, who knows how their lives are going to continue. Congresswoman Gifford has suffered brain damage. With any luck, she'll be able to recover. But who knows if she'll be able to keep her seat. How will that change things politically in Arizona? All because our healthcare system failed. Everyone here who listens to me knows I'm a proponent of a single-payer universal healthcare system. At the bare minimum, a public option. We have neither here. So the healthcare system that should have helped him didn't. And we all paid for it in a very tangible way. There are going to be people who say that access to firearms caused this tragedy, and I disagree. Firearm bans, any kind of weapon bans, only affect law-abiding citizens. They have no effect whatsoever on someone who's made the decision, I want to kill a whole lot of people. Regardless of how he got his firearm, he would have gotten his firearm. Or a bomb, or a truck. He wanted to kill people, he would have found a way. For me, this has a whole lot more to do with the mental health system that failed. And now we have dead, and wounded, and ruined lives.